Here, JBF Music and Guitar Lessons. In this tutorial, as you've probably already gathered, we're looking at Slash's iconic outro guitar solo to the Guns N' Roses track Night Train. Probably one of my all-time favourite solos. I couldn't find any tab lessons on it, so I thought I'd just put one together. I don't have the original recording and I've done this all by ear, so it might be a tiny bit off in places, but overall it sounds pretty solid to me. Any suggestions or corrections are, as always, more than welcome. Just fire them down in the comments there. To clear things up a bit with the tuning, my initial playthrough was in E flat, like the original recording. The following playthroughs where the tab was on the screen were in standard, just to make life easier for people with floating bridges and things like that. The rest of the tutorial will also be in standard. However, there is also a halftime version in E flat with the tab on the screen, which I've put towards the end of the video. Timestamps, as always, in the pinned comment and the video's description. Right, I'm going to go through this bar by bar and highlight any points of interest or stuff to watch out for, like I tend to do with my solo lessons, card for the playlist up there. The first two bars, not much to say here. Add vibrato to the first bend for a bit more authenticity. Also, bonus tip, play with conviction. If you want something to sound like the original, try to visualise the guitarist, so Slash in this case playing it. You can either sort of imagine being them or grab onto whatever vibe you get from the solo and just the image of them playing it. If you focus on that, it will tend to get projective and sort of come through in your playing. I know this sounds a bit new age hippie nonsense, but I reckon it's really worth giving it a go. But yeah, after that we've got this muted note in brackets. I think it's there, but like I said in the intro, I can't be 100% certain without having the stems. The first real theme we get here is where the kind of pan muted notes come in. A very light pan muting, very close to the bridge would be best. Too far from there, I don't just get too choked out. And also just resting your palm very lightly on the bridge, more or less just here. And for these pinch harmonics, you need to play about with where you want to hit them to get the correct pitch. There's harmonics all up and down the strings, LS and car at the top right for more of that. For me, they're around the middle pickup. The 5th fret being maybe just behind the pole piece. The 2nd being maybe just in front of it. And the 4th fret more or less directly on top of that middle pole piece there. These sorts of things will become a lot more intuitive over time, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with a bit of initial study. So we finish up by sliding to the 7th fret there, playing the 5th fret, and then bending this note here up a tone and a half. So the target pitch is the 12th fret. I tend to pull bigger bends like this down for more control. For more on that topic, check out the tutorial on the card up there. But yeah, add some vibrato on top of this bend as well. The next line is very heavily pan muted, and as a result, the exact pitch of the notes is fairly hard to hear. I'm also not entirely sure how Slash picks this. I'm alternate picking, just do whatever is easiest for yourself. There's no point making things any harder than they have to be. The fingering I've gone for is like this. Start using the position shift in that 2nd bar by playing the 11th fret with my 3rd finger. This slide here, the next part of the tab, it might actually be a little bend. Up to you what you do there. And then we're in the next theme, so don't be afraid to rake into any of these notes for a bit more bite and attack. I've got a fairly standard blues rock lick. Add some vibrato on that 8th fret. The next bend has a partial pinch, the harmonic fades out quite quickly though. This double stop, you probably want the notes to ring into each other for a little bit of raunch, but make sure to keep it fairly tight. The last part of this theme starts off along the same lines. And it's just pinches galore. So starting on the 8th fret we have a full tone bend with a pinch. The next 6 notes are normal. And then pinch the 7th fret. Then a kind of Van Halen type partial pinches for the next 8 notes. That entire bar actually, all kind of partial pinches. Then a little bluesy lick. And then yet another pinch harmonic. You might want to pre-bend this or just bend it really quickly, but the real essence here is letting the pinched note return to pitch. Just sounds awesome. Then we have yet another pinch on the 7th fret. Sorry, I'm trying to get an actual pinch. Yeah, so this pre-bend is only really a semitone targeting the blues note. That might sound a bit weird to you, so if you want to do a full tone and return it, that's totally fine. But for authenticity, is the right way to go. And this kind of leads us into the next theme. Nothing too much to mention here. Just watch out that this hammer from the 5th fret to the 7th is much quicker than when we play the 8th and the 10th frets in the next bar. So those are, whereas these are, that's about it. Also, this is where Slash really starts to play with the timing, often hesitating and playing behind the beat. So something I would really suggest that once you got the bones of this down, listen to Slash playing it ideally at half speed and try to match his phrasing, where he pushes and where he holds back in relation to the backing rhythm tracks. But yeah, we've got that 10th fret bend that kind of goes up 3 times. 8th fret there, and then on the 13th fret, what you want to do here is bend it, slight release, back up to pitch, and then return it to its unbent position. You might want to play this on the 8th fret on the E string. I just prefer it here, this is the personal thing. But let me really take things up a gear. all I can say here is start slow, make good use of the legato, and let your muscle memory take care of this bad boy. I'm alternate picking, do whatever makes this lick manageable for yourself. Again, I'll play this slowly. This is one of the ones for me. I just had to kind of loop it and play it a couple of times till I got the melody in my head. You might want to add a partial bend to this note here, as well as a pinched harmonic. A lick almost identical to the very first one we played, which leads us into the next stage where it's really shifted into full-on shred territory. Now, live Slash just improvises this bit, so there's no shame in doing that. However, if you really want to nail this, take your time, be able to hum the melody, or at least hear it in your head, audiate it. So there's also very heavy palm muting going on here on the original recording. You know, he's really digging in. Slash also really holds back, so instead of playing it more strictly in time, which would be like... he sort of plays with the timing. And I'll try and do that a bit slower, more in line with how Slash actually phrases it. Again, that whole pretending to be Slash or honing in on the vibe you get from the solo, that kind of badass, snarling, kind of standoffish, just plain cool swagger. This line took me quite a while to get down, so I'll play it a couple more times. And we don't get much of a breather here either. This is a bit like Dave Murray from Iron Maiden's trilling style, a card on the top right for more on that. And just watch out for this bit starting on the 7th fret. It's 5 notes in the space of 4. And so those bars slow down. And then we got kind of a jump up the fretboard with a slightly sharp semitone bend on this 12th fret. I tend to switch to my neck pickup at this point. Live it looks like Slash just stays on the bridge pickup, but again it's whatever you guys opt for. And then some bluesy rock stuff for these next few bars. And then we got a double stop. I tend to keep this one fairly clean and not let the notes ring into each other too much. This way you get a nice pre-bend on this 15th fret which we can return to pitch. Then we also have a semitone pre-bend on that 12th fret. And then a tone and a half bend on the 17th fret. So you're trying to target this note, or this one if you want to visualize it on the same string. Bring in vibrato, which I will say is much easier when your guitar is tuned down half a step. I'm in standard just now, so I may struggle a bit here. Let's give it a go. Oh, that wasn't too bad. And then when you bring the bend down, you want to kind of hit it while it's still bent. and then bring it down quickly for that kind of whiny noise. A little chromatic run. And then we've got some more guitar flurry shred attacks in the next bar. So again, Slash rushes the first few notes here, in particular after this bend. Those ones are definitely ahead of the beat, they kind of crammed in there. So after this 15th fret bend though, it's really just this pattern, right? Okay. Even across these strings. So really try to get that pattern in your head. And up the speed. Okay, and once you've internalized this pattern, it will become way easier. We then have a group of 3 notes going down the scale starting on this 10th fret on the E string. Then it's back to the pattern. To recap that from the 15th fret bend. Then we have this little bit here. I'm using it as a position shift to get ready for the next thing. You could still play it here, but I find it sets me up for this bend on the 15th fret and some double stop action, leading to what is probably the peak of the solo. So firstly we get 3 bends on the 20th fret on the B string, down to the 17th fret, and then a tone bend on the 20th fret on the E string. I think Slash might hold this bend and then bend it a bit further before going back to pitch. So rather than just going, I think he goes, have a listen to yourself and see what you think. And then we're in the home stretch here, so well done if you stuck it out this far. This is not an easy solo to learn in the slightest. So more of Slash's signature playing with the time there, rushing the end of the first bar a little bit and then slowing down the start of the second a tad. And then we have a little chromatic lick, again making good use of the blues note. Now at this point the studio solo has more or less faded out, so I took an idea from a live solo and just stuck it in here to round things up. Yeah, you can hit this 19th fret of the D string twice. I like to jump to the G for a more slinky sound and slightly more edgy vibrato. was Soul Hudson, aka Slash, and his quite frankly amazing ending solo to Night Train. For more tab solos explained like this, check out this playlist. If you want some more Slash licks, click here. If you've enjoyed this, want to help the channel grow and stay up to date with new content, hit subscribe, share it across social media platforms, smash that like button, leave me a comment and enable notifications by ringing that little bell on the side if you feel so inclined. Cheers guys.